Yes, 2-5 is here. Sports Reports is ordered. Let's get down to business. So, we're coming up on 2 months from the college football season getting underway, and there's still more changes coming down the pipe. So, of course, NIL has been all the rage. A lot of people out there don't want the players to get money because they think that this is going to take away the amateurism, turn it into the NFL light. Well, I got news for you. We've been on that path for about 20 years now. Ever since we created things like these championship games being sponsored by Dr. Pepper and Phillips 66. And nobody seemed to have a problem with the schools getting money then. Nobody had a problem with these TV networks raking in ratings and money then. So initially, when I heard about this naming right deal potentially on the table, the Big 12 spearheading it, they're just trying to catch up with the SEC and the Big 10, which shows us that there's a problem to begin with that's not being addressed. This upcoming season, for example, the Big 12 schools are only estimated to bring in $31.7 million per school, while the Big 10 is looking at about a cool 75 mil, right? Nobody has a problem with that on the surface until we get to the naming rights. Now, I'm not a fan of the naming rights, but I understand that it's about survival of the fittest. You got to do what you got to do. And now the Big 12 is also talking about bringing in private equity companies that will provide an infusion up to $1 billion or so to the Big 12 in an investment that they're going to have to pay back, obviously. So, how did we get here? Because we spent so many years trying to keep money out of the players' pockets that we never realized we were getting robbed in the first place. Our beautiful sport. I was listening to the herd about 2 weeks ago, and this man was talking about USC needs to get rid of Notre Dame. In what world are we okay with that? But yet, we make our jokes, we get them off the All State Conference, the Bucky's 12, and all that kind of stuff. It's cute until you realize that money is going to go into the players' pockets. You know what I mean? The NCAA lost the ruling, so it sounds like we're getting closer and closer to athletes being employees, which we didn't want. That just goes to show you how far behind the eight ball America is. Because when you look at soccer, you look at the Premier League, you have your 14, 15-year-olds already in camps, Chelsea, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, so on and so forth, being trained, bred, and brought up to eventually make their way to the main squad by the time they're 18, 19 or so. Here in America, we're still so antiquated, thinking that we're doing things the right way. This is supposed to be the land of opportunity. So now we finally got a 12-team playoff that's going to put teams like Memphis, Boise State, UTSA, Tulane, so on and so forth in a proverbial chance to win the national title, even though we know they still don't really have a chance. But yet, I got Vanderbilt over here collecting checks. So college football has been a welfare system since its existence. The only thing that changed is that the players are benefiting from the system that they have been the pawns to. So, as I get older, I've learned in life only worry about the things that you can control. Change is inevitable. So, if we're going to make these changes, let's see it all the way through. Give me some relegation so that these Wake Forests, these Vanderbilts, these Northwesterns who don't have a chance to win the national title can bow out to the side in a school like, say, the University of South Florida, who, if nothing else, at least has the recruiting grounds to make some noise every so often, gets a shot at it if we're not going to have an inclusive, all 135 of you have a legit chance to win the national title. So what do we want here? Do we want our conferences to look like our stadiums, changing names every 2 years? Or do we actually want to have a league that will keep interest We'll see. I know people keep saying they're not going to watch, they're being pushed away. Ratings haven't said that just yet. So, college football, if you're going to make the change, go all the way in. That's all we ask.